Welcome curious souls to Magically Different Mouse. I'm Katie, and in this video we're giving a brief overview of Priority Pass. Now for those that don't know, Priority Pass is something you can apply for if you're differently abled and you have evidence for that. Now the evidence depends on where you come from. It can be proof that you're receiving disability benefits, proof that you're a veteran from the armed forces maybe, and all sorts of different things. Now, to get Priority Pass, if you're eligible, you can apply for it on the Disneyland Paris app up to 30 days in advance of your visit. I'm not going to go in detail for the application process now because we have a blog up on our website which is all about it. So scan the QR code here or click the link down in the description and it will take you to all that, and we've got step-by-step instructions of how to go through that application process. Now, when you actually hit Disneyland Paris, you then have to pick up your pass, and you have three options for this. One option is that you can go to your hotel check-in desk, which if you're going to the hotel first, that makes sense. The second option is if you have an annual pass, you need to go to the annual pass desk, which is just outside the Walt Disney Studios park. And the last option, and what we're doing today, is going to guest services outside Disneyland Park. We're doing that because we came straight here as opposed to going straight to our hotel. Now the queue can sometimes be a bit long, but they're very good at moving people through it. So what you do is you just tell the people on the queue door, that's what you're applying for a Priority Pass. You line up, you need to show your proof. You can't just say that you've got the proof and they're going to accept it. That's not going to happen. And then you receive your pass. So we're going to go and check in and grab our pass. Okay, so once you pick up your Priority Pass and you get into the park, there's a few different ways you can use it. Now one thing you can do is skip the queue at quick service restaurants. If you show it to the cast member at the door, they'll direct you to a specific queue. We've actually found that generally speaking mobile order tends to be quicker where that's offered, but it's there as an option. You can also in theory use it to pay quicker in the shops, although we've never really had to use it for this. But the big attraction of it, of course, is for the rides. And you do have a couple of options with the rides, and it depends on your sort of pass. Now, when you ask the questions to get the Priority Pass, it will ask you things about what your mobility needs are. And being your colour of pass dictates what entrances you can use. Now, for the example of Phantom Manor behind us, there's actually two different entrances that Priority Pass people can use. And there's the disability entrance, which you can see marked behind me with the wheelchair sign. Essentially what this does is you go in the exit of the ride and you get to sit on the dune buggy. They ask people with mobility differences to go in that way because they can slow down or stop the conveyor belt to board the ride, so it gives you a bit more time. You can also go in the Premier Access ride. Now, Premier Access is normally for people who have paid to skip the lines. But if you have no mobility restrictions, so you've got your priority card for a different reason, you can also skip the lines there. We've actually found this very helpful. We have a Priority Pass which doesn't have any mobility differences attached to it, so we can use the Premier Access lines. And we tend to do so because it then frees up the disability voting areas for the people who really need it, so folks in wheelchairs and those sort of things. Now, I will say, if your ride doesn't have Premier Access, then chances are you're going to end up boarding with the Priority Pass in the same place that people will who have mobility differences or are using wheelchairs. So a ride, say like Pinocchio, you essentially go in the exit and that's where you board the ride. So it will depend on the ride you're at. Now, the other thing I will say about Priority Pass is that for shows, the big sit-down theatre shows, you can get priority queuing for that, and it lets in you and 4 guests, and that's the same for the rides. It's the person who holds the card and up to 4 guests. There's an exception, and that is the fireworks and the parades. For those, it's the person who holds the cards and up to 2 guests only. please do not yell at the cast members if you have over that in your group and you all want to get in there together. It's not fair on them, they're just enforcing the rules, and we did sadly see that last time we were here. Now, this is just a quick video talking about where you can access the special viewing areas for the fireworks, particularly the area for priority pass, so there's differently abled people's pass. A lot of people seem to get really confused about where the entrance is, and it's understandable because where the space is isn't actually that close to the entrance. The entrance is actually just behind me here. Where I'm currently standing is on the path that enters Frontierland from the hub, the main entrance there. There's a side path that normally would take you past for TPs and down towards Adventureland. That's where you enter with the priority pass, and from there you then get led round into the viewing area. My big recommendation would be to make sure you're on this side of the park, so Adventureland, Frontierland and the side of Main Street that's got the Liberty Arcade, an hour before fireworks time at the latest, because we just crossed over the hub. It's currently about an hour and 10 minutes before fireworks time, and the hub was already slammed. We'd had to go a bit down Main Street to do it, cross over the road. That's just going to get busier. So do not leave it too late to be on this side of the park. If you have to, use the Liberty Arcade and cut into Frontierland and then round to this area. Now, there's also the reserved viewing area which you pay for, and that access area is actually a little bit further around into Frontierland. But we really want to highlight this space for people who are differently able, because I've heard people getting really stressed and unable to get to that space because they just didn't know how to access it. And they kept trying to fight to the front of the castle, they thought it was, but of course it's not where you get in, it is actually separate. So we are going to film us walking into that priority area so you can kind of see where the walk is and where you end up. But we just wanted to let everyone know that this is where you need to go for priority pass. So there's a little 101 on priority pass. Again, please look at our blog. We'll link it in the description below, which details everything about that. And if you like our content, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on socials. We'll put all the links to those down below. Thanks very much, and we look forward to seeing you real soon. Bye bye.